people will only connect to specialists, meaning people who can help them get a specific result. And we'll talk about specifically what does it look like in terms of, do I have to like niche this down? How far do I need to go? What does that really look like? But if you don't understand that people are really looking for some type of change and you're not clear about what that change looks like for that person, they'll go to somebody else who does have clarity. What topic do you usually give advice on the most? What topic do you usually give advice on the most? What topic? If you want to even be stronger in your messaging, you would choose an audience, a specific audience.
Okay.
So is it, because let me ask you this, is a lack of self-esteem look different for a woman that has been in an abused relationship versus a lack of self-esteem for somebody that's just starting a business?
Yeah, it's totally different.
That's my point. Okay. Right. So that's why that's why it's important to choose a specific audience, because if you can choose an audience, your messaging will be totally different. This down. This is the second point. Deeply understand your audience's passion and pain. Let me visualize my journey, but what pain have I been through in relation to my audience? And what was I passionate about accomplishing? Like, what did I want? What were my goals? What was my opportunities that I wanted to achieve? And when you able to connect that, people want to listen to you because now you have a story. You got a story. And that story it gets people emotionally connected to you. And when people are emotionally connected to you, they want to buy your products. They want to sign up for your coaching program. They want to buy your books. They want to come out to your speeches.
When I say niches, there's two ways you can think about niches. You could think about niches in terms of your audience and like two different audiences, right? So I can say, for example, I want to help authors and I also want to help coaches, for example, right? Those are two different roles, two different types of people. Those are two different niche audiences. Or you can have niche topics. So niche topic could literally mean I focus on mindset and I focus on business. I focus on health and I focus on relationships, right? And anything in between, right? So that's what it is. I focus on, e-commerce, and then I focus on motivational speaking, right? Whatever it is. So that's what it is. Now, if you're choosing those two, my first suggestion to you would be, it's much easier if the topics are related, meaning the topic is closely related to each other, or the niche audiences is closely related. So if like, for example, so let's go back to authors and coaches, for example. So for authors and coaches, let's use authors and speakers because that's more real, and I have a program behind that. So let's say coaches and speakers. So since that's the case, those are two different, because you have some people who may want to speak and may not want to coach, and then you have some people that want to coach and may not want to speak, right? But what's great about it is that it is closely integrated. So I would say there's no reason you should definitely be doing both, because the audiences are going to be so related if the topics are related. People are interested in becoming speakers, but guess what? Because as a speaker, our goal is transformation and whatever it is. I know that if you're willing to speak on it, you're probably going to be open to creating a program around it, because people who have a message and want to transform lives really don't care about the modality. I mean, they care about it, but it makes sense to have multiple modalities if you want to transform the most amount of lives. So if I'm going to go out and I'm going to speak on business, then I'm also going to coach on business. If I'm going to coach on business, I'm probably going to have a business book. If I'm going to have a book, I'm probably going to create a course. Does that make sense? So for me, I can say, all right, I want to help coaches, but in the marketplace, I could also say that I want to help speakers, because I know if I get coaches, they're probably going to want to speak, and if I get speakers, they're probably also going to want to coach. So, but that's because it's similar. So it's not going to be that much harder for me to go out in a marketplace and talk about what it's like, to be a coach and be successful as a coach, and then me come out with something in relation to speaking, and it's not like you're not going to be interested, because it's very similar. You want to speak on a topic.
So a lot of times you might say, well, I'm a life coach, or I'm helping people with trauma, I'm helping people with mindset. Well, guess what? The reason you're helping them with that is because you feel like there's a certain level of experience that you have and that you went through, and that's going to allow you to be able to help somebody else with that. I'm gonna help them get through that experience because I've been through divorce, because I've been through because I've been through abuse, because I've been through whatever. Okay, I have the experience and I made it through. Look, I'm in one piece. I made it through. I want to help other people who are currently going through it. I want to be able to pull them through too. That makes sense? So you want to be able to do that, but you got to ask yourself just the right questions so you know what experiences you're going to use. You want to know what stories you're going to use. So you really have to ask yourself. So what do you have education in? Are there certification programs you took? Are there degrees that you got? Are there, books that you read? Are there, coaching programs you joined? I don't know. You tell me. But maybe it is something that you've learned intellectually that you can pull on some of that and say, okay, I want to be able to use this and teach it to you. You follow what I'm saying? Like, these are things that's like, so those are the questions you really, really want to ask yourself, and that's what's going to allow you to take this thing to the next level. Now, I know that there's some folks, we always got folks who are like, yo, I'm ready. Like, this is the time. I want to take this thing to the next level. Like, what do I need to do? You know what I mean? So let me give you some insight on really how to really use this and take this to the next level. One, apply this and really get clear on your niche and your audience, right? And then second, you gotta become a better version of yourself. And if you spoke to me before, I talked about that all the time. And you gotta have proven strategies. That is what a coach is gonna be able to do for you, right? So if you're in a place where it's like, yo, I'm willing to get the help, I'm ready to get the coaching, like, yo, let's move, let's make this. I want to make sure that you're clear on what you need to do, whether it's identifying your niche and who you want to help, to who your core audience is, to how you build a fan base, how do you put together a coaching curriculum, how do you get clients, whatever it is. Ask the questions, right? And just go ahead and put mentor me in the chat.